told myself that I was going to do these, so I'm doing them. What are we going to talk about? First and foremost, just wanted to say I have not been on my weekly postings. Told myself I was going to do this, and I'm holding myself accountable. But I'm returning from a very long vacation in Europe. My fiance and I went over to Italy, Europe. Went over to Italy. We started off the trip in actually going to Zurich, Switzerland. So I flew into Zurich, and then we stayed 2 nights there, which honestly, Zurich was, it was pretty cool to see, I guess. I've never been there, but it was pretty sick. So then after that, we took a train and went over to a wedding in St. Moritz, and that place was sick. And actually, 2 days prior, we spent a day in Grindelwald and Lauterbrunnen, which I'll throw some footage up because I took some drone footage. It was sick. It was sickest place I've ever been. And I'm not even just being biased. It was dope. So yeah, super blessed to have been able to experience all that. And we initially had went over there because I was filming a wedding for my friend who actually I started doing videography with. It's been like 4 years ago now, so it was sick. And then after that, my fiance and I went over to Italy and did about like a 8-day excursion traveling around over there, and it's just nuts, which I'll throw some more footage up of that. Yeah, Lake Como. It's just been a whirlwind. And then obviously I got back and I'm doing stuff with Casey and just trying to get back in the swing of things. So, yeah, but anyway, I guess I wanted to, this kind of correlates with all my traveling and what I was doing. So I shot this wedding, obviously, and it came to my attention. I was just like watching all these people traveling and visiting, and we're going to cool places and cool areas, right? Like I show you some of this footage, and I noticed like some photographers or people with cameras, quite a few actually, and I had brought all my gear along, and so like I have my Sony A73 for pictures mainly that I use it for, and then I got my drone, so my Mavic 3 Pro. I promise I'm getting somewhere with this stuff, with this story. So the A73, okay, this is my first camera. Not my first camera, but like my first camera I bought for paid work. Great camera. I use it for photos, right? Mainly. It still has really good video capabilities. So let me restart here. So all this time that I'm spending over traveling, I'm looking around and I'm seeing all these people with cameras and, phones. Everybody's taking pictures and videos, and that's what people want to do. They want to share where they were at or what they've been doing, all the experience, right? Probably for social or I don't even know. But I came to a conclusion because I'm walking around with all my gear, right? So I showed you my camera, got my camera. I'm taking it out very seldom, and then I have a 70 to 200 lens. Then I have this big old lens, right? And this thing's a beast. It's awesome. Takes super great photos. So my focal length is from 70 to 200. And don't get me wrong, like it takes amazing photos. But I'm sitting there and I'm going, gosh, I have this in my pocket. It's super accessible. I whip it out. I have the 0.5 camera. I have the normal 24 millimeter, and then you have like the 3x, 4x, 5x. This thing zooms super far. Video is insane. So this is the 15 Pro Max, and I bought this just before our trip over there because my fiance was like, well, geez, I want to maybe have a camera too, because she likes to take pictures of everything, and she's super into it too. And I'm like, I'm not going to teach you how to use a camera. We're not going to go buy another lens and all this other crap. So I just gave her my 14 Pro Max, which is still an awesome phone, has great camera capabilities, yada, yada, yada. So I need a different phone. So I obviously got the newest iPhone, and the largest one with the best camera capabilities. And I'm just like, the whole time I'm taking photos and videos and I'm putting them on my stories and I'm making reels out of them. And it does such a good job. It does everything you need it to do. And it's like, why did I bring my camera? You can't get the camera quality out of the iPhone, at least in my eyes. I can't. I can see the difference. Like, I just totally know, right? Because this is like what I do. But I'm just sitting there thinking to myself, I'm like, this just for travel, I'm like, this is the best option. I was looking at the DJI Osmo Pocket 3, or is it 3 or 4? I don't even know what they're on, before we left, and I was just like, nah, I'm not doing it. I'm getting the new iPhone. You guys, this is crazy. I had a sling on, and I'm going down this super sick area in the Alps, or this is up in Grindelwald. So we take the lift up, and we come down. You can rent these like trike bikes. I'll put the video up here. And I'm driving down, and I'm like, damn, I wish I had my GoPro, because like I want to get this. Like, this is insane, right? So I'll put this footage up. I stuck my phone in between my camera sling bag like this, and just had it right in here. It's sitting like this. And I'm going probably 30, 40 miles an hour sometimes. And I have it on the 0.5 wide angle lens, and I'm just cruising. And this thing is taking a video like it's a drone. I mean, you can see from the footage here. I mean, so like, just like think fast on your feet. Like, I just kind of tried that, and it worked. But my point is, you can't do that with the gimbal. You can't rig a camera up. You can't fly the drone. You're not going to, like, it's just, everything is like this. It's happening so fast. You don't have time to set up all this gear and do all this fast stuff. I mean, this is literally the best option. So my point with all this is, so in today's day, like, what do you need for a personal brand? Do you need the fancy cameras? Do you need the high resolution drones? Do you need all these different lenses? Because let me tell you, I'm like thousands of dollars, tens of thousands into all my equipment. I mean, the camera I'm shooting this on right now, and this whole setup in front of me, it's like $8,000. And I don't say that as like, oh yeah, look, I spent this money on this gear. I use this for clients. I use this for Casey's shit all the time. Like, that's the reason I purchase all this stuff. And then, so like Casey and I use this stuff every single day. Anyways, he has a lot of it too. But anyways, my point is, like, so do you really need to have the best gear to capture stuff for your brand or personal use? Well, first you need to identify whether or not you're going to be using this content for your brand or business, and how serious you want it to look. How much are you using it? How often? Because I'll be honest with you, there ain't no way I'm setting this phone up and we're recording videos on it every single day. It's just not going to work. So for us, like, yes, the camera makes sense, everything else. Now if you're going to have like a YouTube channel stuff, like, yeah, you can use the iPhone or any other phone to record your videos. That's fine. It's just, it comes to a point to where you need to identify where you're trying to take your channel, where you're trying to take your brand. Just for like personal reels and stuff, like, it's just, I see all these people thinking they need all this gear and they really don't. And like I said, like, I bought all this gear because I knew what I needed and I was doing paid work, and I'm not going to show up to a shoot with an iPhone. And like, I'm not like this like crazy high-end production business either. So I have like every tool in my kit that I see fit, that I use for myself. Like, it's usually just me. And that's it, so, but I would say, like, if you're getting started, or if you like think you need to have a decent camera, I could probably put some stuff in links, or I could show you like what I've gotten when I started out. But I mean, truthfully, you don't really need anything crazy. And I know that I don't have much context to where this is really going, but I'm just showing you like my scenario through like the travel. Like, okay, it was hard to just pull out the camera and go like take all this footage and video. So hard. Don't even get me started on like flying my drone and doing all that. Like, I'm sitting on this like rental boat and I'm flying this thing, and the current's moving us from side to side. And like, I got to land the drone, and like, it's an expensive piece of equipment, and then you got like vacationers and people everywhere. It's like, it's kind of a mess, and it's like risk it for this shot, and it's like, I don't even like do travel vlogs. I don't do. I got the footage because I enjoy it and it's sick, and yeah, I mean I got it, but I just shared it like on my personal Instagram. I'm not even doing anything else with it. So is it like worth it to go buy all this stuff so you can do that? I don't know. You be the judge of that, but it's very easy, I think, in today's day and age to get wrapped up in thinking you need all this equipment and all this stuff. Um, because what you're saying is what really matters. Like what's coming out of your mouth is a big part of it. I know it's kind of all over the place, but if you're trying to decipher whether or not you need to use, like a phone or a camera, I mean, I just, it depends on what you're doing, but I would say this is your best option to get started. Most people have an iPhone, most people have a smartphone. So it's like if you're looking to start content or recording stuff or making reels, etc., like just do it with your phone first. Like experiment, because a lot of this stuff is going to come from your editing. And that's what a lot of people don't talk about, is like a lot of this has to do with the editing aspects of things. You're going to need something like this. Like I use this MacBook Pro here. I had like a 2016 MacBook Pro and the thing fried on me a few years ago. So I went out and got this. I don't, like, off the top of my head, I don't know all the specs and all stuff like that, but like you're going to need this kind of equipment in order to even take footage or photos and like edit this stuff properly. And that's a whole nother story. So all in all, I'd say the phone is your best bet, and then buy maybe some tools geared towards your phone. Start there and see what happens. Don't blow your don't don't just go invest all this money or like think you need all this stuff just to start a YouTube channel or to create content. Now, if you're going to try to be a business, yeah, absolutely. I think you're going to need the correct gear. You're going to need the correct stuff so you can perform at a higher level for sure. But for anybody that's just like trying to upscale their personal brand or their Instagrams personally, or maybe something for a business at a small scale, start with the phone. Honestly, I just can't stress that enough. It's just, I think it's just the best way to go. So, I know that was all over the place, but I'm gonna do a much better job at trying to get better at these, and maybe kind of like maybe like write out like a pre-script or something, so I don't go all over the place, because I'm all over the place, obviously. So, but yeah, I enjoyed sitting down and trying to actually get back in the swing of this. So I hope to provide some more insightful stuff or things that I know. I would really appreciate it, or like if anybody who's like starting to follow along with this, put some comments below of like what you would like to hear me talk about, or if there's any or if there's any alignment that you want to know about like Casey and I and like his stuff, and any of those other things that we work on. More than happy to make videos on that too. So peace.